Okay, big question I get a lot. Should I buy a business or should I start a business? And it's an excellent question. You want to be an entrepreneur, or maybe you've got some entrepreneurial background and you're thinking, oh, okay, maybe I'll just buy one, it'll be easier. Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 things to consider before you either buy a business or start a business. My name is Susan Sly. I'm an entrepreneur. I am an investor. I'm a best-selling author, and I'm a mom. I think the last one qualifies me for the most things. Anyway, definitely crisis management for sure. But I am passionate about helping entrepreneurs just like you figure out how to start a business, how to grow a business, how to scale a business. Should I get investment capital? Should I start it myself? And in Raw and Real Entrepreneurship, we tackle the tough issues. And so this is one of the questions that comes up a lot. Buy it, start it, I don't know. So let's walk through 3 factors to consider. And before we do, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Go ahead, like this video, drop a comment below. I am the one who reads all your comments, so please be nice. Lots of people tell me I'm a nice person, so. So the first thing to consider, are you going to buy a business? Or are you going to start a business, is time. So there's this whole sort of concept that starting a business takes more time than buying a business. It actually can be the reverse of that, because when you're buying a business, especially if you don't have a lot of history of that business, you might not know the employees that are there. You might not know the field. You might not have experience in that particular vertical. It could end up taking you a lot more time. The reason I encourage people to start their first businesses is to kind of get their feet wet. A lot of people start businesses part-time. So they're working at their full-time gig and they're starting their side hustle and they're getting that experience. Maybe they're getting a product into the market. They're, learning the accounting and all of the different things that go with it, but they have their job as a safety net. If you've saved a bunch of money, which I'll get to in a moment, and you're like, I just want to buy the business, I would caution you around that concept of time. If you are very experienced at buying businesses, then probably this isn't the video for you, because you've already done it. You know what it takes. You know, when you first buy that business, how much time that goes into it. And the thing I will tell you is that your time is, one, it's valuable, but number 2, never underestimate how much time a brand new business takes. It's like having a new baby. If you're a parent, comment below, just say me below. When you bring that baby home, it doesn't matter how experienced you are. If you have other children, that new baby demands a lot of attention, and so will your new business. That's why I like people, again, to start their side hustle, use their primary job as the safety net, pay the bills, pay the mortgage, the kids in school, all of that stuff, and then learn the ropes of the business. Number 2 is capital. And we've already talked about this. So how much capital do you have to invest in the business? If you are buying a business and maybe it's a franchise business or an existing smaller business, you are investing a significant amount of capital. Don't put your life savings into that business. That is a stupid mistake. My kids don't like the word stupid. I never use the word stupid, but I will say it is stupid. You should never, ever, ever invest all of your money in buying a business. Do you know why I say this? Because I did stupid. I have a PhD in stupid. When I was 24 years old, I invested all of the money I had and I got loans and I bought a business. That business ended up failing and I ended up homeless and bankrupt. Yes, it was awesome. So I will tell you, from that mistake, never, ever, ever do that. You should make sure that whatever money you're using to buy the business is extra money. It is not your retirement savings. It's not your kids' college fund. You're not taking a second on your house. You're not doing all of that stuff. That is stupid. Don't do that. If you want to buy a business, save the money, extra money, separate account, buy the business that way. Don't do it. If you are starting a business, on the other hand, you can start it with a very small amount of money. I do not like business loans whatsoever. Nope, no loans. just your own money, bootstrap it. So Sara Blakely, who I admire very deeply, if you haven't heard my interview with her husband, Jesse Itzler, go to my podcast show, Susan Sly Project, and check it out. Anyway, so Sara Blakely started Spanx, which thank you, Sara, for starting Spanx. I love Spanx. As a 49-year-old woman, I love them. But Sara started that with $5,000. She was working full-time for Xerox, and Spanx was her side hustle. Today, Spanx is a multi-billion-dollar business, and she was smart about it. So one of the things I've learned over time is that when I'm starting businesses, I will bootstrap them. And again, it's with extra money. It is not with any of my savings. The big thing to understand is the number one reason businesses fail is because of poor cash flow. And 50% of businesses don't make it to year number 5. So make sure you get your financial house in order, get out of debt, save the money before you invest in your business. The third thing to really consider, whether you're thinking about buying an existing business or starting a business, is experience in that industry. I do not suggest you buy a business that you have no experience in, because that is a license for disaster. The business I bought was a health club. So I had been working in that very same health club. I had done personal training. I had taught fitness. I had even helped out behind the front desk. I had done all sorts of jobs in health clubs over the course of my young career at that point. So I knew that business. The reason that business failed was because of cash flow, not because I didn't understand how to teach an aerobics class or how to train a client. What I didn't understand were things like profit and loss statements and cash flow statements and things like that. I was very, very naive. That's why the business failed. So I had some experience, at least in the sector, but what I didn't have was surrounding myself with a team of experienced people. And had I done that, that business probably would have survived. So if you have experience in that sector and you have the money and you have the time, then maybe buying the business is for you. If you have a dream business, go get some experience and do it part-time. So maybe I had this question on LinkedIn from a police officer who wanted to start a business, and he wanted to start a personal training business, which is so cool. So what I suggested to him was, hey, listen, keep your full-time job as a police officer, but get your personal training certification, maybe train some of your fellow officers or train some people on the side, get that experience, really understand the business, how to put together the client profiles, get some testimonials, start to build up some capital. And then as that part-time business is going, as it's making money, as it's becoming profitable, that's when eventually you'll be able to transition. So with that, those are the 3 things to consider if you are going to buy a business or start a business. Again, if this video has been helpful, drop a comment below, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. And again, I want to see you succeed in business. I feel that the future belongs to entrepreneurs. So with that, God bless, go rock your day, and I will see you in the next video.